يا خالق الإنسان يا مبدع الأكوان بالجود والإحسان يا رب أكرمنا. يحيا بك القلب يسمو بك الحب لولاك يا رب لولاك ما كنا. أنت الذي يهدي يا رب للرشد إنا على العهد يا رب فاقبلنا. رحماك يا رحمن يا منزل القرآن بالأمن والإيمان والرشد ألهمنا. رحماك يا رحمن يا منزل القرآن بالأمن.
We have to first of all understand as Muslims, we know, again, everything goes back to that Shahada, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. When you take that testimony of faith, not only are you pledging to have allegiance to Allah, but you are also pledging acceptance of the fact that legislating rulings for the people to follow and their transactions, the settling of their disputes, their litigations, and the rest of their human affairs is a right that exclusively belongs to Allah. We have to understand that, guys. Only Allah has the right to make laws, to govern how we worship, how we deal with our personal business transactions, how we settle our disputes. All of this is the right of Allah. And Allah tells us this in many verses of the Quran. For example, Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning, verily the creation and the command belong to Him, and He is the blessing granter, the Lord of the worlds. So the creation, we are the creation. We belong to Allah. And the commands governing us belong to Him. This is a right that He has. He is the one who has the authority to legislate laws for us and how we deal with our everyday affairs. Also, we have to accept the reality, guys, that Allah knows what's best for us. So this is why He makes the laws that He makes. By virtue of His lordship, He makes laws for us. And we must accept His judgment. We must accept His judgment. We must accept His judgment. And this is where we have a problem. Remember the big issue we had a couple of months ago with a lot of those Muslim women not wanting to accept the fact that adoption is haram. Adoption is haram. Adoption is haram. Okay? Why, people say? I don't see anything wrong with it. You know, you have to accept Allah's judgment. Allah tells us in the interpretation, the meaning, and if you dispute over anything, refer it back to Allah and His messenger if you truly believe in Him and the last day. And this is something that I try to emphasize with all of you here, and this is where I run into problems with other people who call themselves callers when they're really not. And I tell you guys, be careful on the internet. There's a lot of women, I just found out about all these women who are sitting up on the internet calling themselves callers to Islam, calling themselves people of dawah, when these women don't know nothing. They're teaching you wrong. Whenever we differ over something, we're supposed to refer it to Allah. For example, you guys come to me because you were told by other people that adoption was lawful. I told you it's not. So who's right, me or them? We refer it to Allah and we refer it to the Prophet. That means we look to the Quran and we look to the Sunnah to see what Allah said and who won that fight. I won it. Because despite what these other people who call themselves people of knowledge have told you, I prove to you from the Quran and the authentic Sunnah that adoption is haram. Allah has already decided that. Okay? Another example, say for example we want to argue about the niqab. You turn it to Allah, turn it to His Prophet. I'm not going to debate with you. I'm going to tell you what Allah said. I'm going to tell you what the Prophet said and what the companions said. And now, that's it. I don't care what your fatwas from your so-called people of knowledge say. We're going to refer everything to Allah and His Messenger. That's what the people of knowledge do. When we dispute over anything in this religion, if there's a question mark over any part of Islam, guys, we're supposed to refer it to Allah and His Messenger, the Quran and the Sunnah, if you really believe. Also, Allah tells us in the interpretation of meaning, and in whatever you differ, the decision rests with Allah. Allah knows best. Whatever Allah decides is it. He said adoption's haram. He said that the children belong to the father. That's it. So don't come back and tell me what Imam Shafi said. Don't come back and tell me what Imam so-and-so said. The decision rests with Allah. Allah has spoken the truth, and that's it. Do you guys understand that? This is where Muslims have problems. We claim that we believe in Allah, but when Allah tests us with our disputes, we show that we really don't. We don't want to accept what Allah says. So we'll go look for somebody to give us a ruling to go against it. But you cannot change it. Allah speaks the truth, and this is it. Okay? Also, Allah denies. He denies that we should accept a lawmaker other than He. Don't come tell me what Imam so-and-so said about adoption. Imam so-and-so is not a lawmaker over Allah. Allah said it's haram, sister. Don't come tell me what Sheikh so-and-so said about breastfeeding. Because Sheikh so-and-so is not a lawmaker. Only Allah is. Don't tell me what Imam so-and-so said about eating from the people of the book. Allah is the lawmaker, and He said it's lawful. Don't tell me what Imam so-and-so said about me wearing colors. Do you guys get the point? Only Allah makes the laws, and no one can overrule Him. No one can overrule Him. No one can. And if you take the rulings of someone else over Allah, then you are guilty of shirk, guys. If you take the ruling of Imam so-and-so over Allah, then you are guilty of shirk, and you truly do not believe in Allah. Is this understood, guys? This is how Muslims negate their shahada every day. Every day. Allah tells us in the Quran, in the interpretation, the meaning, do they have partners to Allah to legislate for them in the religion what Allah does not allow? Subhanallah. Allah says He does not allow for us to eat pork. Pork is haram. So how dare you come to me and give me a fatwa from the Islamic Fiqh Council of Europe, which states if I boil it for a certain amount of time, it becomes lawful. You